Hey everybody, you are tuned in to Hanging with Here to Zen, the show that is a place for people who love all kinds of music. We really hope you enjoy your time with us today. Make sure you hit subscribe if you already haven't, and hit that notification bell to be kept up to date. We would love to hear from you over on our social media platforms, so just search Here to Zen and you'll find us. Lastly, could you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or Google Podcasts, or wherever you're going to be tuning in from? Those reviews help other people to find us, so we appreciate the reviews and the support. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey AJ, how you doing?
I'm good. Cheeky bastard, take 3.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry, bro.
Oh,
My bad.
So one was my fuck up.
We it's been crazy since I got back off the road, and it's been a busy week and a half. But I'm really glad to do this, man. I fuck with you guys down there, so I'm really happy that you're having me. Thank you so much for the patience.
Pleasure to have you. And it's like on the eve of your record release down here in Australia. How are you feeling about it all?
Oh man, I'm nervous, bro, because a lot of the early reviews, they're very good, but it's everything that I knew. Everyone's like, yeah, we love the record, we love the lyrical, we love the deepness of the lyrics, we love the message, because it's very in line with Fire from the Gods' message, but the music isn't as heavy as we expected. And people are, so as a metalhead, that's not what you want to hear, right? But at the same time, it's like, this is a record that we wrote. We went for it because there was something that we were trying to tap into, and we haven't forgotten who we are in terms of our heaviness. So I'm still very proud of the record, and I'm very proud of what I was able to do as a musician, and to be able to sing the way I did, and to write those songs. Like I'm still very happy for it, and I'm stoked. I'm just nervous because it's music.
Well, there's a line there that says, "In us we trust." So you have to trust that you're doing what's right for you at the time, and the fans will just have to trust that bands grow and they need to support the band no matter what.
Bro, thank you. You sure you're not a doctor? This is my therapist.
I wish.
Yeah, trust me, bro. I hear you. No, man, thank you so much, bro. That means a lot.
And considering, well, we don't want to harp on the events of the last few years.
Yes,
there has been a lot that go around the world of misinformation. So something like "In us we trust" is probably a pretty good motto for anybody moving forward. Do you think that sometimes we get far too immersed in what other people think and feel?
1000%. And I think a lot of what I was trying to say on this record, and with the in us we trust, but also adopting a new motto, or not a new motto, but another motto, which is another aspect of Fire from the Gods' music, is all power to all people. And that encapsulates the unifying aspect of the music, the unifying aspect of the message. And when, like you say, if we trust each other, then forget the misinformation, forget the division, because the division is just as harmful. Your misinformation is just as harmful as the division or divisive tactics, and misinformation being one of those tools that people use, or the powers use, or people that think they hold power or sway over each other. So I think we definitely get very caught up in the idea of, well, you don't think like me, so therefore I don't respect you, or I don't respect your existence. And then we start thinking about, well, those people, what they think about me makes me not want to agree with them, or not want me to respect their position. And then everyone's fighting. So everyone's talking at the same time and no one's listening.
Yeah, sure. And you've got a song on here, yeah, 1,000 Lifetimes. Tell me more about writing that song in particular.
Very simply, man, I grew up in a very, I wouldn't say a very broken home, but I grew up in what people, like I said in the quote for it, I grew up with people deem as a broken home. There wasn't the family unit, wasn't the traditional family unit. My dad, my mom had 3 children. two from a relationship, and then I was born years after those two, my sisters. And that in people's eyes, that's not a true family, right? They
Yep.
say you're half sisters and you're half brothers. And I don't believe in any of that shit. But we share blood. Those are my sisters and my brothers. And that's the beauty of our family, that we're that close knit in that regard. But it was hard. There were a lot of trials. There were a lot of struggles. And I know that people around the world and people that particularly grew up in a similar situation where there are so many, they can agree and they can relate. But the through line in all of that are that a lot of the times our mothers become our everything because of the fact that there isn't, the traditional two parent household and two incomes and all this other thing, so you have to navigate life from a very disadvantaged point because there aren't that many advantages out there when you are seen as your situation isn't normal. You feel me?
Yeah. I'm from a
Yeah.
blended family, so I know
There you
completely
go.
what you mean. And at the moment, my wife and I have a blended family, so I know it even more. So
Yeah, there you go. There you go, fam. So it's not, when people see things as being different, you lean on other people to be there for you. And my mom, she was almost my everything for a very long time. And I watched that woman go through so much in order to give me the life that I've had. And I wanted to honor her in a certain way, but I didn't want to write like a Tupac Dear Mama,
yep.
or this is my song for my mom. No, I wanted to take that very feeling and aspect and apply it to Fire from the Gods' message. And that being that let's support and show love to those that would do anything for us. So people have that person in their life, or they have that thing in their life that that puts everything on the line. And we know how hard it is, especially when we talk about the events of the last few years with the economic downturn. People are out there struggling, man. And when there's someone that you can rely on that puts in that work for you, that puts in that energy so that you can get about doing your going about your day, you want to honor that person. You want to show them love. And so 1,000 Lifetimes was that, because I've seen my mom just put everything she had on the line just so that I could eat, or just so I could have clothing, just so I could pay my school fees, everything, man. You know what I'm saying? She worked tirelessly. And I wanted to just show that love. And I've heard her say things, about, how, like, those nights when it gets frustrating, and she's like, what can I do to make this kid's life better, or what can I do to improve the lives of my kids? Like, I'm doing everything I can, and things are not working out. Bills are late, the world seems like it's falling down around you. And then on the other side, you've got these parents and these moms that lost their children to violence, which I've seen a lot. That's another thing I've seen. I've lost family members to violence, and you see it, how heartbreaking it could be on their moms, and how heartbreaking it could be on the people that love them. So I wanted to also honor them and let you know that your sacrifices weren't in vain because your child's gone. You still stand. We still stand for you. We still love you, and you still did everything you can, and that's all you have. And you can walk out of the situation with your head held high.
Yeah, you
so to speak.
should always fight for the people you love, whether they're here or not.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So you actually only just came off the road with Five Finger, Megadeth, and The Who. How was that?
Sick, man. We've done 3 Five Finger tours, and that was our second Who tour, first Megadeth tour. So there was a lot of familiarity in the camps, so that it was very smooth to just transition back into a group of people that you've worked with before. But we also did shows in Europe with Megadeth, so we knew some of his camp. And Dave, the first show we played, Dave came knocking on the door to the green room, and I was like, whoa. I like opened the door, I'm like,
Yeah, that would have been
Mustaine.
confronting.
And yeah, I was like, hey, Mr. Mustaine. I'm sitting there red-eyed because I've been smoking weed. And I'm like, whoa. And he's like, hey, some of your guys, I didn't want to disturb them. And he thought that we were Five Finger Crew. And
Right.
so, yeah, so he thought it was a crew room. We were like, no, man, we're the support band. He was like, oh, Fire from the Gods. Because we shared a team member. He knew, so he had already known about us, which I didn't know. And he was like, oh, you must be Chris's band. Chris is a guy that we'd worked with in the past that also worked with Megadeth. And he was like, yo, did I heard about you guys? And I'm really interesting to see you. And then after the set, sure enough, knock, 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 knock. Here comes fucking Dave Mustaine again. And he just started chatting away and just talking about the old days. And he was like, man, he's like, I really wish I had someone like me when I was coming up to talk to the younger guys. You know, so he was already like trying to come in and like, hey, I'm the elder statesman. I know what's going on here. Let me tell you the crack, you know, let me tell you what's what. But overall, man, from that experience to the last day, it was incredible, man. We did 65 days, 67 days, 2 months, basically, and 38 shows or something. It was relentless. It was grueling, but at the same time, we had a blast. The response was awesome. People really starting to kind of show that they're adopting Fire from the Gods in the broader aspect, you know. So it's not just the same kind of like hardcore shows that we were used to and the club shows we were used to, where, you know, we had a certain type of person that was into our band. There was a wide variety of people that were really into what we were doing, and we felt blessed, man, highly blessed. So I'm very happy to have ended the year on that note. There's still so much more, and I'm like, oh, we could have been touring, but fuck that. I'm really happy that that was it, because that was a great tour.
So how do you plan to build for this record with a tour in 23?
Man, I want to go everywhere, dude. We haven't been to Oz yet, so I really want to get down there. I'd love to get back to Europe, obviously, just as relentless touring, because not only do I want people to hear Soul Revolution, but I want American Sun really didn't get its, you know, no pun intended, its day in the sun because of COVID.
Yep.
And so there's still so many more songs and so many more things that we can do. That's kind of why we wrote the record that we did, because it's kind of an extension of that. You know what I'm saying? These aren't songs that didn't make it. It was just kind of like, oh, let's pick up where we left off in terms of our songwriting, and let's give people this.
Yeah,
Because
no,
now we have a catalog.
I remember when we chatted for the release of that record,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything
yeah,
was
yeah.
super fresh and everything was ready to go, and it kind of felt like someone pulled the rug.
Oh, very much so, man. Like, I was heartbroken a little bit, and that was another reason I kind of wrote so many somber songs, because it was like I gave so much on American Sun, and there was such a fine balance between what we were trying to do as a band. Whereas on Soul Revolution, we had a focus. We were like, we're gonna write these type of songs because this is where I think people's hearts and minds are at. We still haven't, you know, we're still that edgy, heavy band, but you know that this is Soul Revolution is part of that story.
Yeah.
Of American Sun. We started then, and here's Soul Revolution.
So we're super short on time today, so I'm going to leave you now. Now, with your
Yes,
lyrics, they're some of the most thought-provoking ever. Leave Australia with some really cool, positive thoughts about the album and possibly an upcoming tour.
As far as the tour, man, I'm gonna do everything I can to get down there. And as far as like about Soul Revolution, I just want people to understand that I'm speaking from a place of truth, and a place that I feel what you're going through, no matter what your station is. But just go out there when you see someone and share that love. We don't need grand sweeping gestures to change the world. It can only just start with, you see someone struggling, hey, pick him up. You got a friend out there that might need some help. Reach out. Don't wait for people to reach out. Reach out and say what's up. You see someone that you've never met before. How you doing? How's it going? You know, let's take what we already have in us to do better, and let's just share it with everyone else, because that's how we change the world. We don't need politicians and all this other bullshit. Yeah, policy affects the way we live our lives hugely, but we are the masters of our destiny, and our destiny is in the fact that we can survive if we lean on each other. And leaning on each other isn't mean stepping on each other. It means respecting each other. Feel me?
Excellent, man. I'm going to leave you with it. Have a great day, and
Thank you, Andrew.
do
Appreciate you, man.
take 4 in person down here.
Yes, brother. Yes, brother. Yeah, we got to make that happen, dude. I want to get down there bad. I got a bunch of homies down there too. Guys that left England, guys that left the States that are living down there and have done all kinds of cool shit in Australia. And I want to see that cool shit too, man.
Awesome, man. I'll see you soon.
All right, my friend.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Bye bye.